Hey everybody, how are you guys doing today? AMC Bigums here. I hope everybody's having a great night. This video I'm gonna do today is gonna be on the GME report with the SEC. We're gonna go ahead and look at their findings on what happened in January, and basically a lot of people have read this and are very disappointed with what they saw, and I am as well. So let's go ahead and get into the video. And without further ado, so basically, I'm going to skip the first like 17 pages. It's basically all about just market structure stuff. And I mean, if you don't know market structure, go back and look at any of my videos. I talk about it quite a bit. And if you really want to learn about market structure, I have an interview on here with Dave Lauer. He gives you incredible information. I highly recommend checking that out. But let's go right into the video here. Basically, this first part is just garbage, talks about just trading volume, things like that. But right, well, I'll stop quick and get into this is going to be some institutions. Now, before I get into this, like I was showing you in that iceberg video, that they can, hide a lot of this stuff. They can hide these numbers. They can move them to other brokers. There's a lot of things offshore. There's a lot of things that they can do. So again, take these numbers with a grain of salt. Also, I showed you in the last video how the SEC looks for specific things, and like I said, they're able to get around a lot of this stuff with the SEC. So basically, that said that I'm just going to go into GameStop. It said basically GameStop was at 122.9% in January of 2021, which is insane, obviously. It says you have a couple other things, Dillard's, Bed Bath & Beyond. AMC, it said down here, is at 11.4%. Like I said, take all this stuff with a grain of salt here. We're going to come back down and keep going down. This talks about the ETFs, how they use the ETFs to affect the price. How GameStop, when it went up, the ETFs prices shot up. Not gonna worry about that. GameStop at the time was basically it's saying it was insanely shorted. They started shorting this. Look at 50% in 2012. So in 2012, 15, 16, 18, it was already at 50%. It rose even farther in 2019. So this company's been getting shorted for years, you guys. Years. Just wanted to make that clear. Let's go back down. And basically, short interest of GameStop was hovering around 100%, hitting 109.26 on December 31st. It says short interest can exceed 100% as it did with GameStops. Just so everybody knows and everybody aware, they're allowed to do that, which already to me is something that needs to be looked at. I mean, that's a little crazy. So let's keep going down. Don't worry about all that stuff. Talks about just short sale. This talks just about how price rose up, volatility, going down. So if you could look here at the short interest, so you can see right here, they shorted it in 2012, dropped it back down. I mean, the short interest chart's pretty crazy, but as you can see from right in the middle of 2018-19 is when they started smashing that thing. And right here, they say they covered it all the way back down to here. So we'll keep going. Moving on with this. So this is another thing I wanted to point at, which makes me just laugh. So this is another one of those things that I talk about with you guys on those consents that FINRA is allowed to give them, which basically they don't have to admit guilt or anything like that, and that's a huge problem because of things like that. You're gonna always get reports like this that says another possible explanation. It's always explanations, possible explanations. It's never going to be this is what happened, because until those consents go away, they don't have to go into, or they're not allowed to go into their servers. They're not allowed to go into those systems. They're not allowed to go ahead and check out all their data and find out the true problems and all this stuff. So it's like we need to fix that. We need to fix that. Consent needs to go away. It should not be allowed. Basically, it says that it could have gamma squeezed, and I mean, I know you guys know what a gamma squeeze is, so I'm not going to go into that or what that is in their explanation. Basically, this talks about shorting. Okay, so it has basically shorting RXTs could have served as an indirect through impactful way of shortening GameStop. Just wanted to say that too. So In fact, staff observed a large spike in net redemptions of nearly 6 million shares in RXT. So basically, like they said, they're just shorting the fuck out of ETFs, like we all knew. Basically, everything we knew, they're saying. So nothing's new is coming to light of this. I love at the bottom here, and it says the gamma squeeze less likely. The episode highlights, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to worry about that. Talks about clearing. Now, we went over in the iceberg video how these people in the clearinghouses are actually helping them, how they have it all with continuous net settlement. So we'll go back into that. I'm actually going to be doing a video on that here shortly as well. We're going to keep going down because this is just all garbage, how they're saying everything's fine on their level, but we already went over how, like I said, they can cheat everything on the clearing level. This talks here about how broker-dealers are allowed to restrict it, so make sure that you check out if your dealer is allowed to do that. This talks about how they all went under Congress, but of course it doesn't tell how they lied. Ken Griffin lied. Here you go, 10-minute clearing. He's lying. This is where he lied right here. He lied. If you guys really want to look, here's his PDF. Oh, dang it. You can check out his testimony of him lying. Here's his. I'll put this on the bottom as well if you guys want that. See, let's go back down. Sorry, now we got to go all the way back to where he lied. Basically, so I mean, they didn't really give us too much stuff here that we didn't know. I don't really think we've learned anything. So it's honestly a very disappointing article here. I mean, like I said, nothing we thought was going to come out came out like we should have figured. But one of the things I did want to show you guys here that I did thought was pretty interesting, as you can see here on these charts, is how balance of GameStop off exchange executions, ATSs, internalizers, and then down here it's pretty interesting. Majority of these were internalized, approximately 80% as opposed to executed on ATSs. So a lot of these people, I mean, it says 88% of internalized dollar volume in January executed by just 3 wholesalers. Citadel Securities was doing this, and then they couldn't handle all this on their own, so they ended up having to call in Virtue America to help them. And like I said, it's just a joke. Basically, this just goes into liquidity that was available at the time. I'm not going to go into that. This just talks about how it had halts up and down. This just shows the number of halts on the days. Let's keep going down. Just talks about trading, options trading, how it's increasing, blah, 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 throughout this process. Going down. Basically, the conclusion was, a whole bunch of retail got involved. There's a giant short interest on GameStop, and it could have been a gamma squeeze. I mean, it basically is nothing. It's nothing we didn't know. They want to talk about payment for order flow being involved, how they traded through dark pools and wholesalers, short sale, and market, dynamics had a part to do with it, which we all know. But they're not talking about market makers, how they can short with their exclusions. I mean, everything we wanted to know is nothing's in here. Basically, all they talked about is every basic thing we went over and just tried to use it as a simple explanation. So nothing really to get excited about. Like always, wasted time with regulators. So what I'm going to do here in the next day here, or actually I'm going to try and put one more out tonight. I'm going to put another video out tonight, but I'm going to put out a couple of videos. Next one's going to be continuous net settlement. Other one's going to be short squeezes for, say, stock market play, because a lot of people are still handling this like a stock market play. I'm also going to talk about the lawsuit with Citadel and the s.e.c. And I got another video coming out on some history of Citadel, some violations that they've done, and just some politics that are involved with Citadel. So thanks for listening, everybody. Have a great night. Appreciate it.